So the major studios are in Milwaukee, which is where I'm from, my hometown, in Chicago. And then we have secondary offices in Pittsburg, Nashville, and Santa Barbara.
Really interesting. How did you choose those locations?
They were sort of chosen for me through opportunities, really. The opportunity in Nashville came about through a relationship that I had in the equestrian world, and was introduced to a client that was centered in Nashville and had a farm there and asked me to do a master plan for the farm. And the work led to another project to do their residence in one of the neighborhoods of Nashville. Then I met my now partner, who is also was living in Nashville. And so now we decided to keep Nashville as a part of our life and open an office there. And it's a vibrant place right now. There's a lot of interesting development that's taking place with the entertainment industry and the music industry. You have a sort of little darling in the Middle South that has got a great vibe.
It does have a great vibe. It's very Memphis. It's very Austin-like.
Yeah.
What is the architectural vibe there? What is the acceptance level? Sometimes people will go into a new market and think, oh, I'm influenced by Santa Barbara. I'm influenced by Chicago. I'm influenced by LA. I'm influenced by Pennsylvania. Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do here. Is that the approach, or is the approach work with the clients, whatever they want, we'll make it happen?
I think every designer has a different way of responding to their environment. My way of looking at the environment, sort of brings in a few ingredients. I look to see what traditionally has been the influences on design in that location. And that's brought about by looking at historic structures, from public buildings and civic structures to old farms, indigenous buildings, to the residential neighborhoods that came about at the turn of the last century. And you start to see a pattern of craftsmanship and materials that are being used, and there's a palette that begins to emerge. Nashville's built on a dome of rock, and the limestone there has a beautiful sort of rich gray color to it. Very warm, neutral, but not the same kind of limestone that you would find in like Indiana or in the upper Midwest, which is a very light colored limestone. And then you have brickworks that are making brick from the local clay, and that has another sort of rich color to it. And you start to see these ingredients in a lot of the buildings, and the architects and the builders had built a sort of a framework of buildings that have this backdrop of palette to it, and this color and this scale.
So